This week's episode of the Rhythm Pyro podcast is brought to you in partnership with our fantastic sponsor,
whose support keeps the discussion alive.
Firing systems give us a mechanism to bring the display that we've been dreaming up in our head into the world for the enjoyment of all of those who get to see it in its glory. Innovations in tech have played a huge role, enabling the modern pyro show designer to do his or her thing. And as a junkie of that tech who's always looking for ways to be more efficient, I fall in love quickly with companies that understand my challenges. That's why the lot of us here at the Rhythm Pyro podcast love muuxBRD long time. We're huge proponents of the modern quick plug and quick connect match technology. It's hands down one of the most innovative and elegant industry solutions that's hit pyro in a long time. CJ, muuxBRD's owner, is on a mission to make sure that a wide variety of firing systems on the market have access to this industry-saving time tool. With slats and breakout boards compatible with Cobra, Ignite, Mongoose, Fire One, Firetech, and Starfire, there's likely a solution there for you. muuxBRD's capabilities don't stop at off-the-shelf, though. If you're a display company or a pyro club or just want your gear to be a representation of you, muuxBRD can tailor your slat's cosmetic look to your brand, offering custom PCB colors and even your logo. Jamie, AJ, and I use muuxBRD because it saves time. And while some hobbyists think it's cool to work on the same show for an entire year, that's all well fine and good. Do that where it counts, though. On the fun stuff, like design and picking product, and not on the stuff that's boring and takes forever, like punching down or landing standard wire lead cues. Head over to muuxBRD.com, muuxBRD.com. Invest in quality slats, breakout boards, and supporting technology for your firing system, and start talking about it. Because old flying wire leads and speaker terminals suck when you have more single shots in your show than you do dollars in your bank account.
I don't like it.
Yeah, revisit the best ofs.
Just move
I
that.
showed Doug my seam ripper. He said he didn't have time for that. I showed you the seam ripper.
Should I be able to see
He didn't have time for that.
What's
I
that?
used to be able to see
professional,
myself.
though.
Now I can't.
It's because it went to sleep.
The
Yeah,
light's flashing red.
It's still recording. It's still
Battery
recording.
saver.
You're good. You're
You
good.
can't
What does
escape.
that mean?
Saves the battery.
I turned it around so you can't see me now.
It's real good. Okay. All right.
This is going to go so much better than
Yeah.
last
No,
night.
it's not. It's not. This is my worst nightmare.
I
come
don't even
true.
understand why you find me funny. I'm not.
No, I'm pretty sure last night was your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
No,
True.
not yet.
Getting better and better.
Just
So he
wait
goes
till
to
we
bed
get
and
home.
King
But we're
shows
back.
up.
What time was she supposed to get here?
What do they say?
Are you talking about Jim? Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
What do they say in the movies when they go round two?
What do you mean?
Fight!
No. When they're doing take number one, take
Take
number
two.
two.
Take
two.
two.
There we go.
Yeah.
Two.
Rhythm Pyro podcast.
Hey,
Take
front
two.
door lock.
Yeah.
And
Action.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Crew Chronicles. Take two.
Jim's gonna come
busting in here.
Welcome
to the Rhythm Pyro podcast, where Rosie, AJ, and Jamie ignite your passion for pyromusical show design while testing the very limits of your capacity for stupid.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro podcast. I'm Bo. That's AJ.
Hola.
That's Jamie.
Take two.
And we're hobbyists and semi-professional pyro show designers. Big fans of the modern pyro musical, and our little podcast is a place where we can get together, talk shop, fireworks, art, share tips, tricks, news, and insights with you. Crew Chronicles,
Point
PGI 2024. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
You are so much older today.
Oh God. All right, so we're talking the PGI, the opening show for the RKM Takeover. AJ and Nate
In less than 12 hours.
in less than 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the date of the recording is the night before the show.
I feel like you
12
two might
hours.
be a little nervous.
12 hours.
What are you talking about?
24
12
hours.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have shot by now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
24
12 hours.
24
22
hours.
hours.
Hey, I'm a
Yeah.
military
I'm like,
guy.
wait a minute.
That'd be 10 a.m. Whoa.
Hey, that's what time we're getting up, right?
I only meant to dry run it.
I thought it was a daytime show.
Jamie's using metric.
Yeah, those wrenches were metric.
So with this being the Crew Chronicles, let's go around the horn here. Doug, hi.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Yep.
Hi,
Good to be
Doug.
back on.
We had
first time
actually,
caller,
so
long time listener. All right. Got it. Okay.
No sleeves.
No sleeves.
No sleeves.
no
filter.
pants.
the 1-3
All right.
display
No pyro.
fireworks extraordinaire.
Yes. Yes.
No.
AJ doesn't know it, but we switched it over to hand light for tomorrow night.
Thank
All the
God.
It's going to be a lot better.
Walkie-talkie him.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
No,
time.
5. 1, 1, 1.
Niner.
Other side.
Nine.
The left, not right.
Your other
Your left. My
left.
left.
Gosh, you're going to have to pick up the pace. That was way off. That was way off.
Scott's
Redo
over there
that one.
timing.
Redo that one.
Where do these lift times come from?
Where do these run times come from?
5-minute
You
pre-fire.
said you could run 3 seconds, 100 feet.
Van and Nate Dexter. Hi, guys.
Hey.
How's
How are
it
ya?
going?
Good. Good. Chad, part of this.
No,
Are
we
you
haven't
no
got to
pants?
Jamie yet.
Everybody knows Jamie. Everybody
I
knows
wanna
Jamie,
know
and it
if
saves
he's no
battery on the
sleeves.
lights if
Are
we
you
just
no
skip
pants?
No fair.
What'd you say? No pants?
I want to know.
He's no sleeves, you're no pants.
I will say when AJ told us the original crewing for this, Jamie was going to be on the 1-3 crew, and we ended up with Amber, and that was the best thing that happened to the 1-3 crew all week.
That Jamie wasn't back
Yes,
there.
Jamie was not with us. So thank you, AJ, and thank you, Amber.
Yes. Amber kept us in line.
Yes.
I know. I actually had to work.
She's Mrs. Shoot Site Caesar.
Had a good teacher.
Got freaking rack duty.
Doug, I'm sorry. It just doesn't look right.
Yep. Yeah.
Doesn't look
For
right.
myself.
Yeah.
We should have done this at home and brought it with us.
Brought it pre-wired.
Chad, you work with a lot of display fireworks, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I use them in my show, and I have used them in my shows for the past few years.
Yeah. You got a pretty big setup too on your show.
I'm getting there.
What are we talking
Still got a
about?
lot to learn.
How does this rival in comparison to that as far as shell count goes?
Against my show?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Child's play.
My shells are too small for him.
My fireballs?
I'm guessing that this show has a few more 1-3 shells in it than mine does.
How many exactly?
I don't know. I didn't
If
do
you
the
can put a
numbers.
number on it.
10%. And again, thank you for not having Jamie with us in the 1-3 crew. I cannot stress that.
It was
was
really.
my
I'm
pleasure,
sure that
Chad.
was really easy for him. Jamie bitched for the last 6 months about being on Medusa duty at the last show. So
Yeah.
I was excited about being on rack duty with him.
With Chad.
But, I got put on baby duty.
Yeah. I'm just glad he didn't twist an ankle or something.
Oh, I
So
did.
far, we're good.
Well, I don't know. He was saying something
It's
about it
not cleanup
yesterday.
yet.
Getting ready for cleanup tomorrow.
I'm
He
getting
was
ready to twist my ankle.
pre-twisting his ankle yesterday.
I have been working on it for the last 2 days. It will be an epic moment.
Derek Williamson, this is show number 3 under AJ's leadership.
Yep, under the wing here.
Under the wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm liking it, man.
Are you? Are you sorry yet?
No. I get excited. I
Give
get
it
nervous
time.
every time I come.
Give him time.
I'm still here.
But it's a blast, man. I really like it.
Good, man.
It's really high level of organization and a really good product selection, a really good show design, and a bunch of characters to work with, man. I mean, we've all got pretty strong personalities, but it's a good time, man.
Derek.
It's a good time.
Derek.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Wow.
Thanks, Jamie.
You're such a turd.
Thank you.
Well, they appreciate it around here.
And Amber, you're a vet. You know all about AJ's tendencies.
Got it down.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm such a whipping boy. I
No,
swear.
you're fine.
It's only because
the
we
line
care.
is wow.
Yeah.
I didn't want to click it too quick.
No, it's wow.
So is AJ perfect?
All right. PGI, is it a new experience for everybody here at the table? For the most
Yes.
part.
First time.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
First timers. All
What,
virgins.
what do we think so far? Doug?
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Really?
All I've got to see is the setup field.
Yeah.
So that's my side experience.
All you see is 1-3.
Yeah, a little bit of, but yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think about the field size? I mean, it's nice and
Level.
nice and flat.
Almost.
Ish.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, it's
comparatively to
Skywars.
others,
It's not like
other
16
fields.
feet difference. It's
Yeah, right.
3
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not even using half the field.
Really?
It has roads.
It keeps going.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It does.
there's a lot more out there that's not getting used.
Nate, as far as field size goes, I mean, you're traditionally a 1.4 designer. We talked about this with AJ last week. What was that? What was it like for you making that transition from 1.4 during the design phase to 1.3?
I mean, I've shot some 1.3 before, and kind of just replacing 62s with shells and different size shells and trying to get the height of them down to know what to put underneath them and all that stuff. So I've kind of had some work with it, but never to this extent. So
You guys did, like you said last week, you guys did some testing. Did you go to different sites and did you find the process of building in those verticals more challenging than you had on previous shows?
I don't think so. I mean, AJ did most of the. We got together. When was it? December.
No, it was after December, wasn't it?
I don't know.
No, it was after December. It was like March. It's around my birthday.
Yeah. So, but we were able to get together at do some testing up in Michigan, and then he did a couple more tests. So luckily he had the availability to shoot some of the product that we're going to be using to get timing and stuff like that. So that helped us out tremendously.
Yeah.
Yep, and then send him all the videos and be like, "Which ones you want?"
Yeah, here's what we can get. What do you want?
I remember sending him a bunch of videos. He's like, "Put this one in this place, and this one in this place, and this one in place." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I mean, unless you want some of those first."
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know how many
take all
we've
the good
got.
ones.
Like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the difference, anyways. I'm colorblind, so he's like, "I want that orange one." I'm like,
I want the
"There's an
orange and purple one. Well, which one was that? The fourth one that you shot, or the orange and purple one.
It's
I'm saying 45 seconds, bro.
Orange and purple.
Orange and purple.
Tackling any design collaboratively it's a challenge in the sense that you're working separately, but you're also trying. Eventually, you got to come together and turn that into a script. How'd you guys handle that?
I mean, I think there was a couple times when we were at your house where you were like, "Oh, let's do this," and I was like, He reminds me of him.
Maybe sleep on
Chad.
that.
He's
Really?
like, he's like, "Oh, one more, add one more," and it's like, dude, our budget's flying, brother. I'm like, you gotta slow it down a little bit. I mean, let it breathe. And he's like, "More."
We need a little. We need a little background on what that means. Chad's nickname is Just One More.
Yes.
Just one more.
Just one more.
If we listed the top 10 Q count shows that were designed by people at this table, I am guessing that AJ would have the top 12 spots. And you're giving me a hard time for one more? Anybody else here had to shoot a show with 2 remotes?
Bo.
How many times? One time.
Is that because of Q count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right, so maybe AJ had the top 11 out of the 10. Sorry. Bo might be number 1 out of 10. Just had to get that out there.
How well did you guys work together? I mean, do you have any advice for designers?
Oh.
Well, I mean, sure, we can go there. If you guys want to say, advice for each other in hindsight's 2020, because obviously our ability to look back on the experience that we've had once we've had it, that's very important to all of us, right? Being able to look back and say, okay, I think I have to change this or make changes here. But if you guys could either offer advice to each other or you could offer advice to other designers in club spaces or whatever that are doing collaborative motions like this, what do you think you'd say to them or offer up?
So I've actually got a question about this. So did you guys do two completely separate scripts, combine them together, and then tweak on each other's? Like your timing needs to be a little bit different here, or did you do half? Did you do part of it, pass it over to him, and he do half, or?
Well, the first two songs, I mean, they basically were done, right? Basically, all was done. There was a few things I did add in the first song. Like I changed a couple little things that was 1/4 additive, and I added more like a 1/3 aspect to it, or kind of chilled out a little bit on it. The second song, we kind of add a little something here and there with shells and decided to change things.
Third song, we kind of worked together, and then you did a lot more on it. And then
that was the toughest one, because we were like, this is our budget song. We got to save it here.
Yeah.
But he pretty much let me on the last song just run with it, and that was the one I kind of went by myself. So really, the show's like
so when you guys originally broke
up
up the design responsibilities, you sectioned out the song and each took a section, or did you?
I guess you can kind of say that.
But the first two songs were something Nathan already had in the works. So we just took those songs, ran with them, and
converted to 1/3.
Yeah. And the only thing I'm a little more is he had sent me his scripts that were already done for it. I put them in my show sim, and then as I was doing it, I was going through the MP3 file. I'm a little more anal than he is at timing.
Was. I've changed.
So like I go in there and I'm like looking around, I'm like, man, you're like 0.07 off on this one, you're 0.03 on this one off, and it's just small little things I'm more anal about than I guess he's not. So, but now it's those things that we both learned from each other.
Now that you've got it done, would you have changed the way you approached to start with to either speed the process up or?
I don't think so. I mean, it's difficult for one. We live in two different states, so splitting
phone calls.
Splitting the load like that. I mean, it sped things up tremendously, I think. And then for me, it was really beneficial to have AJ part of it, because we have to incorporate as much RKM product as we can, and he's a lot more familiar with a lot of the cakes that they carry that I've not shot and I'm not familiar with. So it was nice to have him there as that tool. Say, hey, why don't we use this cake? And I'm like, I have no idea what that cake is, and we were able to implement those different effects from him having the experience of shooting them.
And the opposite for him, like he uses a lot of raccoon and wizard stuff that I've never seen before. So my actual catalog in my simulation software just grew tremendously, because I had to make all of these effects to put it into the system. So now I get to see all this stuff, this newer stuff, and actually get to use it later on in life now, because I'm used to my same stuff I get from my same vendors. He gets through like 5 other vendors.
I'm always looking for new stuff.
So the knowledge he has on a whole different side of product was nice, because now I get to use that in my future shows.
And buy more stuff.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So were one of the other potential hardships, you said that you had to convert it over to ShowSim. So was it originally designed in a different program?
Yeah, Finale.
So Finale to ShowSim?
At least my portion. So then everything that I had done, I sent him the timing, the script, and then he had to import it all into his program.
So when we were at his house, he had Finale 3D open. He had set up 2 TV screens. So we're sitting in Lazy Boys. He's got Finale 3D up, and I got ShowSim, and we're going back and forth, but I can't stand Finale 3D. I'm sorry. It just drives me nuts. I can't do it. And so I had to convert it. It was the only way we could do it. So it did take longer in that aspect. I think we would have finished it faster, but I didn't have time to learn that program.
And ultimately had to be exported on one system. So we just decided that AJ was going to be the one exporting it to his controllers, and so he had to have the full script at the end of the day. So
I spent days converting your first 2 songs over, because I had to punch in every little thing. And every time I got to like a wizard effect, a raccoon effect, I didn't have it in my catalog. I'm like, all right, well, he'd be like, where'd you shoot this for? He'd show it in his show. I'm like, all right, let me build this thing. Da, 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 da. And the next thing you know, I have 30 effects that I had to build, and I'm only a minute 30 into the song.
Did you take all of those effects and then recreate them in ShowSim?
Yeah, a good notch.
How long did that take you?
Forever.
I can imagine.
It took a long, long time. And I never went ahead. I put the time in, and if it was like, raccoon or wizard this, I'm like, all right, well, let's go in here and build it. And then what did you send me, a PDF, or what'd you send me originally for all the timings?
Just the full detailed script.
Okay.
CSV, like the actual.
So you can see the lift times and everything.
So I put all the lift times in, but being anal like I was, I'd go and I'd use our file, and I'm like, well, this one's a little off, this one's a little off. So I'm going, I remember seeing a text, I'm like, dude,
what are you hitting on?
I'm like, is it the drum or is it the voice or which one is it? I can't tell here.
But I also script sloppy first. Like I do it, and then I go back and then I adjust everything, where I think AJ just adjusts everything perfectly as he progresses, where I go back once I'm happy with how it looks, and then I fine tune it.
Yeah, part of that creative. I mean, and being a Finale 3D user, I can associate with that in the sense that it's really easy to go through the script and just kind of sloppily hit your key to drop something on the timeline and go, yeah, here's what I'm feeling here. Mm-hmm. So it's a way to creatively throw that stuff on a timeline. So lighten up.
How did
the guy some slack? Man.
How did the budget play into the overall design? Is it something you kept track of as you were going, or did you get your first run through the script and then look at it and go, hey, we've got to cut a bunch of stuff out. We've got to.
There was no cutting out.
Yeah. We didn't
You're
cut
welcome,
out.
everyone.
Yeah.
I
hope you like. I hope you like the show.
For the donation.
Their personal Venmo account can.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of
self-donation.
I think at first we did the first 2 songs, and then when I was at your house, and we got into Sound Out the Sirens. It wasn't quite finished at that point,
right?
And we were like, man, we're close.
Yeah.
But then again, we thought we had a different budget at one point, and so as we progressed into it, and then we got done with it, it was like, how do we pull out $6,000 worth of crap? It's not possible.
Yeah.
Can you give us any details of the show, like length and cue count and all that kind of just overall details?
It's 10 minutes, 30 seconds, right? Something
Right.
like that.
And they originally wanted between 10 and 15 minutes. So we are at the bottom end of the spectrum on where they want it to be length time. And
cue count, I don't have an exact cue count.
46?
I think it was like 4,600.
4,600?
Yeah, 4,600, somewhere in there.
How many positions?
17 front fronts. What's that?
13.
Flying? 13, I always forget. 13 back fronts.
So what's that?
You want me to do math right now?
17 and 13?
It's 30.
Come on, Derek.
So you're 30, right?
Yeah.
30.
30.
5 towers.
5 towers, 5 cake positions, 5
5
slice
slices,
positions,
40, 45. Yeah.
5 stations of 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s.
And
with a center one.
8.
And then 3 positions of 8s.
Yeah.
Yep.
53 positions.
50 some positions, yeah.
Not bad.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nomenclature that you guys had for the front line too, it was interesting, but I liked it.
That's me though.
Is that new?
That is something that he was like, I don't know.
I still don't understand that one.
No, wait a minute. So, yeah, right. So I don't, was this new to you? Explain the nomenclature, because I think it's like a 3-digit.
It's the
or like
same
a
thing
3
I did
numerical.
at Skywars last year. We had the very front line and then
Yeah.
the very back line that was a front line.
Yeah.
So I called the front line 30 because it's every 30 feet. So it was just an instant reminder. So it was 30-1, 30-1-2.
Yeah.
And then we did zeros this year. So instead of using another 45 Cretco racks we're going to end up using, we made little trough racks, and we're like, we'll call it 30-1-0. Anything 0 goes straight up. So we know to stick anything that's straight up in this rack, and just saves us from a bunch of racks out there.
Mind of AJ.
And that was what?
It works.
It did work.
It did work.
It was a lot more work,
It's
but
called a beautiful mind.
he got stuck with the more.
Yeah.
We know how that worked out in the end.
He's my Russell Crowe.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it works out great building all the racks, like form, fit, and everything, and getting everything nice and tight. And then you got to pull all that crap out to E-match it, and you got to figure out how to stuff it back in the exact order again. Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was funny. You sat there with a Sharpie drawing
Like
little dots on the side of the 2x4 to precisely put the product in the exact position.
And then it doesn't fit. And you're like, damn it. What is going on here?
Allocate for the 1/8 of an inch of match. Those were tight.
Yeah, we got them together though. It was cool.
It did.
But yeah, you're exactly right. Moving around a one little tiny wooden 2x4 rack that costs you like $4 in scrap wood to build and screws versus an entire Kraco rack works out great. Yep.
Yeah. Save space. I mean, and as far as it came to the logistics, how'd you guys split up all of the pre-show? So before the crew got involved and, you know, we came on site and obviously got our duties. How did you guys split up that workload for the pre-work?
We did it together, all 4 of us.
Yeah.
Spent Friday night, Saturday, and the majority of Sunday.
Was this the weekend prior to?
Or
a couple of weekends?
Yeah. We sorted all the shells at the bunker, pulled them all out. The girls put them in by name and everything, and then we went through and just labeled everything and sorted it by 3-inch 1, 3-inch 2s.
Yeah, that's good. Get a couple people that can read. I think that's a good idea.
You both took homework home too, didn't you? Like the towers and things like that. You took some additional stuff to work on in your own personal houses.
I was like, I'll show you how to do a tower for you. We have no time for that. And then
we worked like 2 a.m. every night.
Yeah. And then they were still up at like 6 a.m. Like, what time do I start tomorrow? Like, like 6:30. I'm like, dude.
I know you love to hear those words come out of his mouth every day.
What time are we starting?
We need to know when we're starting. What time are we starting? What time are we getting up in the morning? We need to talk about that.
I'm glad you did, or we would have slept.
But that's just you. He has to have a plan.
Yeah, well, that's good.
We both get up early all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Knowing what's going to happen, there's comfort in that.
Yeah.
Because that's like that's a perfect segue into leadership qualities. What do you guys look for from each other on the site or before your shows or when you get out there? Like, what kind of advice do either of you have for any other shooters who are planning big shows like this?
Talk about, I don't know. The only thing I think we talked about really was like, hey, when we get out there, like we talked about the one day, you do the racks. I'll go out and help them get their shell stuff, the stuff I knew had to get labeled. And, you take care of this. I'll take care of that part of the thing. Keep it going kind of thing.
Right.
Just keep the machine running.
Yeah, right.
Like he said, prior knowledge of what we're planning on doing that day, what we want to accomplish that day and focus on that. Exactly.
Right.
And putting together a crew that's capable of pulling off and meeting the deadlines that you want to put in place too.
People are not going to
that you trust. Yeah.
Cruise around all day and do nothing. And
and I mean that takes years. That takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time to understand your people. To understand the capabilities of each individual person that you invite to your sites. Because
I've known you guys for so long. So
yeah, right. And
that's
part of it.
Points, yeah.
That's part of it. And I think I believe that's something or a quality that a lot of pyros have, whether they're good leaders or not, they're able to look at other pyros and understand, I know what Chad's good at.
Yeah.
I know what Jamie's good at.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I remember when I called Chad, I asked him to come out and I asked him, like, do you think you could bring your mods? He's like, well, you want me or your mods out there? I was like, well, I'd rather have you out there because he shoots a lot of 1.3. So I know he has knowledge in it. I wanted Doug there because obviously he shoots 1.3. So I know I can leave them alone, and that's my 1.3 crew.
Yeah.
I can leave them alone and they can do their thing. They know what to do, how to set up racks, how to load them. They got their way around it. I can leave them alone and don't have to worry about it. Simple as that.
How important is it that these people also understand your workflow and have some exposure to it prior to? That's got to save.
I know Doug has it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm sure he's new to it because
he gives the crew something to talk about.
Definitely not going to be complacent from now on, are you?
Not at all. We never have extra product.
Hey, someone stuck that extra chain of 2 shells in there. I don't know.
What extra chain of 2?
Yeah.
Because there's no stickers for them. It's all right. They put it in the show. I got 2 extra orange floating around in there. No.
Put those in upside down for the ground effect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a great idea.
Awesome finale.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
2 extra orange strobes? Man.
In the show.
Randomly placed throughout the show.
We just picked a spot and like, yeah, this is cool.
But those are nice shells.
Yeah. That's what we thought.
Those I think were his favorite.
Yeah, those are my favorite shells of all.
They're orange.
Oh.
Yeah. So what are you guys most looking forward to in your designs? I mean,
Go ahead, man.
I think the whole thing. I mean, it's just, I've never worked on a show this big before. And the amount of, I mean, we all know what goes into a musical period, but something to this size, it's just, I'm tired of seeing it on a computer screen or a TV screen. I want to see it in life, and hopefully everything looks like I envision it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got some pretty cool shapes and runs that we're looking forward to, and
stuff that he even went out and spent a whole lot of money testing. So, and as long as they turn out just like the test, I think it'll be something really unique.
Yeah.
So it's cool. There's a bunch of runs. You've seen a couple of them. You're like, if that turns out like that, that's something you really haven't seen before.
Well, and one of the runs, I like when he showed me a video, and AJ did. And when I looked at it, I thought I was looking at the simulation. And then he's like, no, he went out and bought the product. It's like when I had seen the simulation at first, I'm like, man, I really hope that stuff burns like that, because that is really special. That looks great. And then he showed me the video, and I'm like, that's awesome. That's perfect, man. Yeah, I'm excited. You guys, both of you guys are excellent designers, and I can't wait to see the show tomorrow night.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm excited too.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to sleep in.
Nope.
And I'm excited for him because I remember doing my first big show back in 21. So I know for him, this is going to be that moment where I was at the table with the arms crossed, like freaking out the whole time. Like he's not like that. He's going to be like,
I'm ready.
Yeah, get in a candy store. Let's do this.
Yeah.
What time are we getting up? What time are we getting started?
Gotta have a plan.
I have a feeling Nate's going to be up at like 3 a.m.
No.
Let's go. Let's go. I can't
These are
sleep.
the nights I won't
sleep.
go to sleep. I sleep with where you're sleeping, but you're awake thinking, and you're like, come on, go to sleep. All right, I'm up.
It's time.
I usually don't get nervous or anything until we're done, set up, and then you turn.
And then you got time to stew.
You turn the control panel on, and then reality sets in on what you need to fix.
Yeah,
how you're going to fix it, or
hey, knock on wood, man.
No, I mean there's always something that you have to go adjust or whatever. But but then once it's all green, then it's like, all right.
And then you get that feeling of it's going to happen. I mean, all that work we put into it, it's go time.
Yeah.
And it's ready to press button. Who's starting the show? Which one of you two?
AJ can.
Why do I got I'm not doing
responsibility.
It's your
Didn't put your
responsibility.
fingers together and just push it at the same time.
I'll be on top of him like, sucker.
Oh God!
You do it.
You gotta do it like this.
He's making the shape of a heart.
Get you guys to hold hands, and then you hold hands and then put them together. Yeah. God Almighty, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Nate, how do you handle stress?
I guess it depends what kind of stress it is.
Yeah.
Is this stressful for you?
I'm not stressed at all right now. I mean, this is a lot of work getting set up, but it's kind of my favorite part of fireworks. I enjoyed out in the field setting it up. Takes its toll, but I like it, and so I'm not really stressed, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
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 Really, I felt like today went pretty smooth from a crew standpoint. I mean, we were killing it. I mean, we were making really good progress over the last couple of days, which I think also
the whole week is nice.
I think it really helps with the stress level when we're starting to push into the morning before, you know, and we still have, guys, we still got to put up a couple towers. And, oh my God, we got to, I mean, really, we left today feeling pretty confident with what we've got to do tomorrow, which I think helps a lot.
Storms and rain were coming in, and you know, we had everything up, covered.
I'll admit I was panicking earlier when Zach called me and was like, "Oh, it's like hailing and raining." I'm like, "Oh, jeez." That's why I walked away. I don't handle stress, I guess, as good as you do.
Prepared for it. I mean, everything was already covered, and I mean, it started raining, and we just
I know, but I started overthinking that stuff. I'm like, oh God, someone's going to punch through the plastic. I'm like when we had the Glendale show, it was the same thing. I was at home. I'm like, oh my God, all the shells are going to get wet. Something's going to get destroyed. Oh my God, please.
It turned out fine, but I was freaking out too. Yeah, I was like, freaking out
too. Not to underplay it. Water. We still have a lot of work to do, but everything is going in the right direction, and we should be in a pretty good position tomorrow to have nothing to be stressing out about the last moment. Yeah. So it's the whole team together. Your guys' leadership has been phenomenal. So good job to both of you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No 1-click, 2-click this year?
No. I was very disappointed in the towers.
I think everybody around the tower has enough experience, I guess.
Yeah. The power line.
That's strange. You guys right.
We had 99.9%.
We know what happens if we overdo it. Yeah. Oh man.
We all know the punishment.
It's like Van and I were talking about earlier with the dogs and the electric fences and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like shot collar treatment.
Yeah. Do you see this, Mark?
Yeah.
99.9.
Everybody shoot a 30 millimeter at him. Jamie messed up again.
That's what you should do. You should carry like a box of pop snaps in your pocket and just throw them at people that screw up. That ain't
You're doing it wrong.
Why did I do that?
No, Jamie will throw M80s at me next.
No, Jamie just moves to the next job that he gets kicked off of.
Where'd Jamie go? I think he's back there with Chad. I think he's back there with Chad and Doug. He left.
They kicked me out.
And they kicked you out.
Where's Jamie? I think he's over there helping David.
We're setting racks, and Jamie says, I'm messing this up on purpose, trying to get kicked off. So I think maybe AJ will come. I hope AJ sees me so I can get kicked off.
Dad.
Oh my God.
Didn't work.
No, I got stuck on rack duty.
So speaking of work, we have to do tomorrow. What's left?
Well,
get kicked off.
Just drop mods and hook them up. I mean, what did we spend tonight? 4 hours?
Hold on a minute. How many channels are there?
I know. 300 and whatever, 80 something or 360 something.
Nice.
When I say just, I mean, it's just modules and cables, which is a lot.
381.
Well, I lied. I guess we do have to go through product, and there is
some stuff has to still be hooked up, but not a lot.
I try to tell myself there's not a lot. That's all.
It is
how I deal with stress.
It is monotonous, minute things, but it is a large amount with 381 channels
to go through.
There's 10 of us now that we'll knock it out. You know, you've empowered us to be able to know what we need to do. We'll knock all that out very smoothly.
But even tonight, we spent a few hours and went through and synced all the mods, set channels. So that's one thing less we have to do tomorrow.
One less stressful thing we have to deal with, like we did at Skywars. Like, what module did we just hook up to? I don't know.
And on the scale of this show, that is a very time-consuming process. I mean, it's one thing to go out in the backyard and sync a couple mods, but I mean, it took 3 hours tonight.
Well, I thought Derek was going to push you down the steps.
Yeah.
4 damn
hours.
What
do you mean you keep on bringing up more modules? You're like Nathan setting racks for 8 hours.
Oh, there's another whole group of racks over here.
I took the pictures of all the racks in the hallway and going down this basement stairs and everything else. I sent him to Scott. I'm like, there's probably like $230,000 worth of mods in this house. It's probably worth more than the house.
How long did it take you guys to find all the equipment that you'd need for this show?
I mean,
how many different places did you have to go to get it?
They have a lot of friends.
Not long. I mean, between Bo, Jamie, him, me, and you.
Like a half dozen people.
Okay.
What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Yeah,
Nailed
6
it.
people. We're addicts. All of us. When you think about it, between all of us, we have enough to like start.
Let me write your guys' names down for whenever.
Oh, I got 7. Chad. Besides Chad, we got Doug. So Doug's at 7. So just over. Oh wait, no, and Brian. We got one Brian.
Yeah.
6 to 12.
6 to 12. 6 to 12. You guys are running Simpty. Yeah.
Simpty, yes. 2 remotes.
You got the right music track loaded?
Do I?
I think.
Yeah. I've dry run that thing about 20 times. Plenty of testing.
Walk me through the chain. What are you doing for the Simpty chain?
I don't talk, Bo. What's chain?
So your signal chain. Where's your source start?
I'm going from Reaper into audio interface. Out of the audio interface, I am splitting a channel out to the 2 R2s. But I'm using the audio box for audio.
Are you?
Just personal preference. I feel like it keeps better sync during that moment.
Yeah.
Because the R2 and the audio box talk to each other.
Cool.
Dealer's so you're just running Reaper to feed Simpty?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I still have the audio file in there so I can match it up so I know that it's supposed to be where it's going to be, but I just mute that channel pretty much. It's there for a backup.
You never have too many backups, man.
No, never.
Yeah. Never have too many backups.
You're running 2 remotes, right?
He has to.
Yeah. And if I break one, we don't have an extra one because he gave away the other one.
What's the biggest shells you have in the show?
You get one more.
Oh, it doesn't have Simpty though.
One more. Bro,
I need Simpty.
Bro, dads, just don't tell him.
Oh, well, he's just sold him.
In the truck, he doesn't know it too.
He won't know until after the show.
It's like the 6 or 7, just like the 6 or 7 modules that
he'll
you got.
Be back at his house before he knows that it was gone.
Unless it gets caught on fire.
Bo, do I have one of those?
Well, you did.
You want? Yeah, you own one.
You got a brand new one now.
I mean, I asked last year at Skywars and before, because I truly do care about this. Like, is there any advice you can give us of something we could do better?
Got your list?
I think from a crew standpoint, knowing everything, and from being on their sides of it too, of running your own shows and designing your own shows and doing that and being in charge of everything that's going on, I feel like from a crew standpoint, any information you can give me so I can minimize having to bother you for anything later. You know, just even here's what we're doing today. And I'm not saying these guys didn't do it. I'm just saying that's what I like to see from a crew side. Right. Here's a map of the site. Here's where everything, it can even be hand drawn. Here's where all these positions go. Just go put everything where it goes and all that type of information. Hey, here's where we need to get to today. We need to get to here today so we can get to here tomorrow so we can be in the position we're on now. And stuff's going to come up in shows like this. And having the time to sit back and go, okay, here's how we're going to fix it. It's not going to be hard to fix. One thing came up today because of a late change to the show. We had positioned some racks in a spot that when we got yesterday, we positioned them. Today we got to it and realized it was wrong. But depending on how you looked at it, it could still be right. So I finally went to AJ. It's like, what do you guys want? We can make either one work. We already
slats. That's what he's talking about. Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, there was an extra shell in a different position.
Oh yeah.
So it was either going to be at 1 and 5 or 2 and 4.
Mm.
Well, we put it at 2 and 4 yesterday. We start loading shells today and realize that the script has it at 1 and 5. but we didn't know exactly which one he wanted. Were we right yesterday, or were we going to be right today? But Doug and I had already talked, and we had a plan. We could make either one work. We'd already worked through how we're going to make it work. So when I went to him, it's like, we just want to know which one you want. We can make either one work. We just want to know how you guys had it envisioned in your head and what you want to see, and we'll make it work. Yeah. So coming up with that solution, so we didn't take any more of his time up, because you got 12 of us out on the field doing stuff. Just trying
I wasn't doing anything.
11 of us on the site doing stuff. Knowing that from being on their side, anything that I could do from a crew standpoint to minimize their time to interact with me would be beneficial to them and everybody else.
And me.
But I like talking to you.
I understand that, but you've got so many things going on today, and all it takes is one person coming up to you and wanting a 5-minute conversation. Next thing you know, it's 2 hours later.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you don't have enough time to be doing that to try and be the leader over 12 or 11 people working on the site, 12 total.
More delegation.
You know, it's something we, excuse me, I was talking about that, how we discussed, hey, about a plan kind of thing, but we never really shared that with everyone. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I apologize.
No,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
even thought about that.
And that's a moment of learning.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's part of the whole process, because we don't do this. I mean, you do this, AJ, somewhat part-time, shooting with RKM. Doug, you do it too. But, for the most part, all of us, we don't do this stuff enough to, and we interact with so many different shooters who all have totally different workflows across the board. When you do that, you spend so much time trying to work out what makes sense and what doesn't, but
what did you do here?
Right. In the process of doing that, I think the most humble leads on site are the guys that can kind of look back on any process that they do and say, you know what? Yeah. Like, to derive something from this that induces change that you can kind of, again, toss out to everybody, because as a group, we're making suggestions that ultimately lead to what we hope one day is the ultimate setup process.
And I also think one thing you have to remember, as the designers of the show and the leads on the show, you guys have seen this show for months at this point.
Right.
I mean, some of us may have seen some sims of parts of it, but you say, hey, go to shell position 5-2.
Where's that?
I know we had all those maps.
They're still in the trailer.
It wasn't he's like talking about slats, and I'm like, I'll be right back. And so I went and got the paper, and I'm like, look, here, if it says this, it's this slat, if it's this, and I'm like, I had copies. I never even said,
and once you gave that to us, we looked at it every time we went to Iraq. It's like, okay, here's exactly what we need right here. And I mean, we didn't have to bother you anymore. And we won't get out there tomorrow and go, oh, crap, we've got the wrong type of equipment here.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with Chad. That's going to make your life easier. Just let your team do what you designed and show them the tools that you provided for them. You just got busy. It happens. And you didn't tell us about the little thing you made to make our life easier. And you just ran off because you're like, oh my God, this is happening.
Well, it's not even that. Just the magnitude of the size of the show and how many, it's not all your equipment that you're used to. I mean, the other day they went out, started the 1.3 stuff, and I knew a bunch of my 18Ms were out there, but nobody thought that, hey, I use RJ45 slats on my 18Ms. Yeah. And they took DB25 slats out there, and it wasn't until an hour or so later I'm like, oh, my slats need to go out there.
Yeah.
So we caught it and we went on.
And that's the thing is,
oh no,
you've got a crew together
I saw something.
Happy we can help.
You've got a crew that you put together that is able to. They're not mistakes. They're bumps in the road that you have created.
Write that down.
We can catch that, and we're going to be able to fix that before you push
whatever
that start
revelation
button.
You just had.
And,
actually, just say it so we can have it recorded.
So we can remember it.
And then this is coming from my heart. This is not me bashing you or anything like that. But you are working with 10 other people that all do things slightly differently. And it's not coming from a place of complacency or anything like that. when you do something repetitively, it becomes a muscle memory. And when you do a muscle memory and you make a slight change to that, your brain is going to be like, wait, what did I just do? And when you have done this particularly in your way and somebody else is doing different, and then it changes, and then it changes, and then it changes, you don't build that muscle memory to catch those little things. So we're going to catch it eventually, but it is another room for an error to possibly happen that may not get caught. So if you create a pattern that is consistently happening, you have a more tendency to catch that in a room of 11 different people who look at it differently, and you don't have to hover over that moment and be like, you missed that. That way, it can take that stress level off of you and allow you to just do the other things that you need to have done.
A shoot site crew packet. Actually, I think I talked about this last time, and it's something I still didn't implement this time, is having something of like, hey, here's a sheet of explaining like the nomenclature.
How to use the tools.
How we set the trough racks up, or
how to read the map.
Everything's
perfect.
But then you guys are also going from every bit of the information in the show was between both of you for months on end, and then all of a sudden
we ran out of time.
Well,
it's here.
Well, it is, but then it's not just. I mean, you guys work together and have worked together for a long time, but now you throw 10 more people in. It's a little bit different. You know, everybody doesn't understand when you say this. You guys would know. I mean, with half the conversation, what each other's probably thinking, and we're like, well, we need a little bit more information.
Yeah.
You know, but I also have liked working with everybody here because I've learned stuff, and I hope that I do a couple things that people say, oh, hey, that's going to save us some time later.
No.
Before I forget, what?
Not the laughing Jamie.
What'd you do?
Nothing. Chad's like, I hope
it's on video. I can see
Chad
it.
goes, I hope I did something that somebody else picks up on. Jamie immediately goes, nope.
You taught me something, Chad.
Thank you.
Jamie, I think you and Chad should do a show together.
I do too.
I'd go to that show.
I would go to that show.
He makes the most beautiful maps.
I want to see
And he
those
leaves
maps.
me alone.
It's great. I give him a map and say, go take care of this, and I come back 8 hours later.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't have to deal with him. It's great.
If you need something, text me.
And that note, I would highly suggest he is very good at doing just the little step that you got busy and didn't really tell everybody what's going on. He leaves me. I never talk to him other than lunch. I need a water. Where's the bathroom?
Chad, nice to see you.
And where's the remote? Literally, he's gone. Just like he was for your shoot site. He was doing 1-3, and you didn't have to worry about him. He was doing 1-3. I was doing 1-4.
But I do that because I know I don't have time. I can't get the show off the ground if Jamie doesn't come do what he does the last 2 years. I mean, my show would not have gotten off the ground because I can't get all my 1-3 done, and it seems like every year I add more 1-4 and more other things, and I just don't have enough time to do it myself because I've got 6 people.
Yeah,
on my crew, my family, my wife, my 3 kids.
That means you had 5, and I had myself.
Marshall was helping you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, but
I didn't do it all myself.
I know that I've got to take the time up front to, like all the mods were set, the channels were set, they were all labeled. Every rack was already pre-wired. It had the cables that it needed on it. Mm-hmm. And it was all on the drawing I gave him, and the site was laid out. Everything I can do prior to show day, I've got to get done in order to get the whole show done. And then still hope that we don't have any major hiccups with weather, which we always do.
But you left me a direction as anything that wasn't done, this still needs to be done.
Yeah. And then we all come together at the end, and he gets done with his stuff, I get done with my stuff, and then we'll finish everything up, run through everything, and fire the show.
Does he ever show up and say, well, I'm sorry, you thought I was working on something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do what?
He usually shows up to drop more product off at my shop. While I'm here.
Chad, I don't have any room for this. Yeah.
Before I forget, guys, though, seriously, Remember, we didn't catch the slats till the second position of racks, right? Like 3-2, 4-2, and 5-2s.
But we caught them.
So the racks before that were supposed to be Nathan's stuff. So they're all in the standard slats,
I
right?
think we checked them and they were right. We looked at the map and we did the ones that you told us to do.
Yeah, we followed the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was too late, and I was like, "Man, we gotta change some mods."
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worst case, I've got extra mods with me that we can.
That was the whole. Every time we'd find some, Chad would be like, "I got extra mods. Don't worry about it. It's all right. We got it."
Oh yeah, I think two of us are like, "Yeah, it's in the truck."
Yeah.
And these aren't bad things. These are going to take you from a 4,700 Q show to a 6,400 Q show in the same amount of time.
Wow.
You'll be able to. That is one thing that Chad does every year. Every year he adds more to it, but it takes the same amount of time it did the year
I don't
before.
have that kind of money to put on that kind of show.
It's okay. You have
Look at what you're putting on here. I mean,
we're already in enough trouble as it is. Okay.
Well, I guess
we've already had those "Hey, honey" moments. Hey, honey.
You call each other
By the
honey?
way,
How much?
You call each other honey?
but I mean, it's just like this show, AJ. I don't know that any of us shoot shows that only use our own equipment, even our personal shows at home. I mean,
yeah, every time me and Doug do a show, we're always using something like this too.
And herein those details too. There's so many gotchas, right? You know, everybody uses a different firing system. Everybody uses different configurations of different firing systems, and again, the process overlaps. A lot of times there's things that differ from person to person, worker to worker, leader to leader, right? Because everybody does different stuff. So it's our ability, I think, as human beings, and this is by no means kind of like, you know, tooting the pyro, oh, this is, you know, we do a great job of processing this information horn. But in reality, the nature of that which we love to do in process-oriented stuff and just trying to make this crap better and easier, I think we're all very highly efficient at it, you know, and changing that process and being cognizant and aware of stuff that might not be efficient, you know, and being able to recognize that, because that's it. I mean, that's where that value lies, is looking at any one of those situations and going, you know what, we could probably save some time.
That's what it's all about.
And if we did this instead.
You lost me at crap.
That was something new this year, is like, because he does RJ45s. Some are no DB25s. You know, it's on board. Standard.
Quick plug.
Yeah.
So having to go through all that and delegating all those mods, it was like I had to remember what was what, and even then I still messed up a little bit because it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. 99.8%. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't do it for once.
The one thing I always come back to with this is there's more than one way to do something. So
yeah.
In my show this year, I put 2 fuel mines in the wrong location. They
couldn't tell.
Well, but the problem is they're set in the wrong position. They're full of fuel.
Yeah.
And they're scripted to a position that wasn't anywhere near it.
I wasn't moving them.
Yeah, we weren't moving them.
No.
So
I wasn't scabbing them either.
No, we weren't scabbing them either.
It was hot.
Then it was,
and
hey, let's just drop a couple more mods here, put them on the same channel as where they need to be.
Yeah.
And it worked. Because luckily we're getting to the point where I'm not using every cue and every module that I have to do a show.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. You should. Come on, mister. Just one more.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Just one more.
That's how the conversation just came up. Who asked about 195? That was you, right? 195? Why you kept saying 195?
Yeah, 195, yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's my dumb channel. I'm like, you had extra channels?
Yes.
Stop. No.
His wife's going to hate me.
No, I'm going to hate you.
Yeah, because I keep adding stuff for him to do. It's not my stuff in my shows.
The 1.3 doesn't get bigger. No. The 1.4 keeps getting bigger.
Good, we're wearing off on him.
More extra stuff.
how much more could I add and how could we do it faster? Well, you could just have it done when I get there.
We try and get as much of it done as we can.
You're so proficient at it, though.
Yeah, more C4.
Yeah.
Just don't get complacent.
I'm trying not to. I try
It's
not
like
to.
the word of the.
It is. The word of the year.
The word of the
Even
trip.
Herman's word of the day.
The crew knows it.
Word of the year.
And the other crew.
Complacent.
Complacent.
I guess the other
Complacency
thing,
matters.
thinking about this crew, this is our third big show that we've done. We started it with Sky Wars. We learned from that one. We did Sky Wars again, learned more. This is our third big show with the same crew that has all these different experiences coming together as one, and it just seems to flow. And the attitudes that all of us have is the end result. We want it to be perfect, and it just
Or else
meshes.
AJ yells at
We
us.
mesh together so well, and I don't know. It just
I mean, you guys taught me a lot. I didn't have Medusa duty to do this year, so.
we
No
stepped you up.
62s.
You can almost take that. You can almost take that poorly if you wanted to, because it could technically be meant as a slight. You didn't graduate. You didn't graduate, buddy.
You're telling me I was here for my modules?
You didn't have to come.
We could have somebody to make fun
Oh
of.
my god!
Could have saved Nate some gas in the truck. Save some weight.
It was a really fun car ride until we took some
Anybody
detours
need
on.
another pyro for help on their team?
Did you guys
next year?
stop and buy him some Benadryl about 6 hours in?
I
Yeah,
am
he was going to
available.
puke in the back seat.
Was
Oh,
he?
we
wasn't
stopped and
me.
bought a lot of things.
You were sick too.
I didn't-
You were fighting over the front
I
seat.
wasn't the one that had to get the, what was it?
Dramamine.
Dramamine. I can't even say it.
Dramamine.
I felt so bad for him though. I think it was just all the construction.
No, he's
got
gonna
It was
puke, huh? He's gonna
these
puke in your
3
truck.
boxes added to the rear end.
We had to stop and rearrange the trailer and
Wow, that was your guys' only hiccup coming up here. Huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
everything
What
else was
happened to
smooth
you?
sailing.
I don't know.
Really, motion sickness. That was it, huh?
What happened to you?
I really had sometimes really thought you were just going to be like, you know what?
I'm going home.
F- you, AJ.
I'm going home.
And just so everyone knows,
I don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
Doug had the worst experience on
thank
the way
you
here
very
to
much,
bring us
though.
our product.
Felt like Gilligan's Island.
It was just one thing after another. Broken trailer, broken axle. Get what? 2 hours down the road, it happens again.
Yeah.
And it's pouring down rain. He's on the side of the road, and he still gets here before midnight.
And when he walked in, he had the biggest smile on his face.
He sure
Oh,
did.
yeah.
He's a
He
trooper.
sure did. And we didn't have a drink ready for him.
We didn't
let
think he
you
was going
down,
to make
and
it.
I am sorry, sir.
I couldn't miss this experience.
I did feel really bad because when we left and we were coming onto the freeway and we had seen you pass.
There's Doug.
There's Doug.
There's Doug.
He's like, we call him. He's like, I'm gonna get some gas, and I'm like, oh well, he'll catch up. No problem. We'll see him in the
Pretty
next
sure
day.
you waved
never
my
caught
dog, and he said, "Hi, AJ."
I kept just trying to catch up. I just, I don't know.
Well, you stopped and got gas right first before you got back on the road.
No, I immediately just did a big Yui to try to catch
Big
up to you
one,
guys.
really?
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
literally 3 minutes behind
I literally
us.
did
We
a
left
Yui at
him
that
Oh man,
stoplight.
behind.
Man, were we hauling?
How does it make you feel, Nate?
8:30.
8
8:30. That's what time we're supposed to be at the gas station. 8:30.
Nobody told me 8:30.
We pulled out
Who
at
didn't tell
9:05.
I was told 9 o'clock.
By who?
I
Wait, hold on. If we left at 9:05, then
You're still late.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks, Doug.
What time did we leave?
that is, yeah.
You did it all by
Really?
yourself, did you not?
Yeah, he did load
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
How many shells?
That's why we call them no
it's
sleeves.
almost 900 pounds of shells. Right, man. Yeah, and then all the racks and
No wonder the trailer broke. It said, I give up.
So I remember texting him. I was like, "Hey, I I wish I could help you with load all these racks, but I can't with my condition right now. So I was like, I have a buddy that I'm trying to sign. Yeah, she's my buddy. My buddy.
I got a buddy. That's what I call my wife. It's my buddy.
It's like Dana's wife, my snuggle buddy.
My best friend, my lover.
My friend's son's trying to get into this, and he's 22 years old, just straight up big dude. And I'm like, I'll get him. Well, he went out with his son, or he went out with his brother on vacation, so he wasn't around, and I felt bad because he texted me. He's like, "Hey, is that kid
guy never
available?"
showed up?
He's like, "Is that kid available?" I'm like,
"Nope."
Sorry.
I'll send Jason.
Sorry.
He's gonna hurt himself in 2 minutes. Oh my god.
Jason couldn't even lift a 3-inch rack.
He's just like AJ.
Wow.
Ouch.
Too soon.
You're charging him for the ride home, right?
No, he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
He's just not going to admit it.
It's all right. I'm used to being the whipping boy.
Hey, Doug, kudos to you, man, for being able to.
Trooper. And Jim.
Hey.
Yeah,
Jim was there.
Help.
Thank God.
Roadside mechanic.
Thank God Jim was late too.
I thought he was the part runner. Exactly.
He was the part runner.
$14 an hour.
I would have paid to have been a bystander just to watch Jim on the side of the road,
my God.
pointing at your trailer and telling you what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making suggestions. I would have loved that.
That would have been funny.
There was a lot of suggestions. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure they were all, let's just go home. It's not my show.
He doesn't need us. He doesn't need
If he
us.
cared, he would be here.
He's very good at this.
Hey, I'm being Jim. I'm bringing out my inner Jim, okay?
That was twice
This
you said
sucks.
his
I'm
name.
going home.
Oh my, yeah. It's true. That who shall not be named always shows up on the third time you say
So he
his
said
name.
he was going to get here at 12. It's 23:56.
Oh, he's
Somebody's
gonna-
going to come
Is it that
bust
late
through the
already?
door.
Wow.
Because we said his name 3 times
Yeah,
almost.
here he comes.
Wow.
I think vending stops at midnight, though, right?
Then he's got 30 minutes.
And then he's
You were
got a
like,
30
what?
minutes right after
Yeah,
that.
we're 30 minutes from the site.
I don't know. We probably should stop talking about it before he gets
let's
here.
probably stop talking about it. Guys, truly, as far as feedback goes, I think both of you have done an awesome job. And
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I'm really
I'm
looking
excited.
forward to it.
Me
Proud to
too.
be on the team.
Yeah.
Don't know
Same.
them.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks
Wouldn't
for
miss
everybody's
this for
help.
the world.
Yes, thank you, each and every one of you guys, for making the trip, for doing all of the work, and being here for me and for him.
Oh, yeah.
You're
See how it
welcome.
goes.
See how it goes.
Either somehow to
Anyway,
go
you
or
spin it,
nowhere to
Nate's
go.
going to be smiling at the table. My dude.
Well, I
My
guarantee
dude.
his wife is just going to be looking at him.
What time we getting up
Protecting his
tomorrow?
heart.
Yeah. What time tomorrow, AJ?
What time we getting up tomorrow?
Well, we did so much work when we got home, we figured sleep in just a little extra late.
6:15.
Yeah, what's
You'll
that
still
mean?
be up at
6:15? I'll see you guys at noon.
We know.
Come on, man, we got bets. I haven't won one.
That's all right. Just tell me exactly what you need to do tomorrow, and then I'll make a judgment call. And I'll tell you tonight what time we'll be there. Huh?
You have 2 minutes.
What?
Noon.
Okay. I better get cut into that. If I make somebody's dreams come true, then I better get a piece of that action.
Oh, and Chad, again, thanks for bringing the tent stakes again, because we wouldn't have a fifth tower if it wasn't for that as well.
Or electrocuted.
Watch the power lines.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
a little
Yeah, please don't forget to
Thank
take
you
it down
guys
the
for screaming that
Do you want to die?
Hey, David, take that one down for us.
That's not even right. Just stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it, guys.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
I want to keep talking about it.